start over, to go back, to learn from every mistake, to scrape every lesson from your past and start with a clean slate. What would you do differently? What lessons have you learned in your past? And how would you apply them if you could start over? What if you had another opportunity to do better, to be better? Would you take it? You get that opportunity every day. We all get that opportunity every day. It's called waking up. Every day you wake up is a blessing, and you should never take that blessing for granted. You can choose to start over. You can choose today to do better. You can choose to live with a clean slate, which means you let go of your past and focus on now, right now. What are you going to do right now to create a better future for yourself? What plans are you going to make now for today and in the future to ensure this new version of you is better than the last? Will your future self be proud of you? Will your tomorrow self be proud of you by the work you do today, by the person you are today? You have to earn that future pride. If you're not putting in the work today, your future will pay the price. Let go of who you were. If you don't, you'll never know who you truly can be. Let go of who you were and focus on who you will become.
Every morning you wake up, remind yourself that you have another opportunity to experience your greatest day. Another opportunity to push yourself. Another opportunity to set an example. Another opportunity to learn something that will make you better. Another opportunity to enjoy the day, to enjoy other people, to enjoy life. You are blessed to get the opportunity of life. Make the most of it.
Create the best version of you. Start today.
For me. I was willing, and I don't know if this is gonna sound crazy, I was willing to completely die to any form of me that I had been so that I can birth the woman that I was becoming. The reason why a lot of people won't become who they want is because they're too attached to who they've been. And you hear it all the time when people say, I've always been this way. Okay, well, if that's working for you, keep doing that. I knew it wasn't working for me any longer. I had hit my version of rock bottom. So I was willing to let go of everything and everybody. See, another reason why people won't get there is because the doorway is for you to fit through. You trying to carry everybody else through because you're trying to be Rescue 911. And you gotta rescue you first. I am much more valuable to my family and to my community because I was willing to let them go through the door myself, teach myself, learn myself, condition myself, and then come back and get them. I'm much more valuable to them now. But I had to go through a window time of 10 years of judgment. You leaving us, hanging out with white people all the time. You going to these crazy countries. We don't know what you, I had to be willing to allow my conviction to make me inconvenienced. See, we want to grow, but we want to stay liked by everybody. I was willing to be my own rescue at the risk of your approval. But most of us aren't like that. Facebook is an example. We want to be liked. Well, I woke up and I like myself today, so your like is extra. My job is to like me first. I was willing to say every day, Lisa, you like you? Lisa, are you proud of you? Lisa, are you playing full out? Every day before I checked in with anybody else. I was willing to inconvenience my entire life. My entire life. I was willing to disrupt my entire life to buy my future, to buy my possibility, to give my dream a chance. See, we're not supposed to tuck our dreams in on the pillow when we get up in the morning. We're not supposed to leave them at home and go and fulfill somebody else's dream. We're not supposed to do that. That's not what we're wired to do. That's not who we are. Your human spirit doesn't care about the economy. The human spirit doesn't care that my son's father went to prison. The human spirit doesn't care what's happened to your family. The human spirit doesn't care about the past. You may have been molested, or your family may have been broke, or you may have been betrayed, or you may have a divorce. Your human spirit doesn't care about any of that. Your human spirit simply says, what's our command for tomorrow? What do you want to create? It's not keeping score. Your brain is keeping score, because your brain is designed to keep you safe. Your soul, your intuition, your human spirit is designed to make you soar. When you get to the edge, your brain will always tell you to step back. It's always going to tell you to step back, because you can fall. Always. It's going to tell you to step back. Because before you fell, the last time you did this, you saw someone else fail. You could hurt. You could be off work. It's going to tell you. It's designed to keep you safe. So you have to be willing to play between your brain and your soul. And on some days, you got to just listen to your soul. And you got to say, I'm going to leap. I'm going to get to the edge. Most people are at the edge, and you're standing at the edge, and you're watching everyone else fly. That's Pimp My Ride, Watch My Crib, all this stuff. You know, watching people's lives on Facebook. You're at the edge, watching someone else live, wondering what it's going to be like when you jump without ever jumping. And I'm just here to tell you, jump. Because only three things can happen. You're either going to jump and fly, or you're going to jump and fall on something soft, or you're going to fall down hard. Either way, you're going to get back up. You already know you got what it takes to get back up. Your greatest fear is not that you will fall. Your greatest fear is that you will live a full life and never fly. That you never leaped. You're not afraid of dying. You're afraid of dying before the world sees who you really are. Before they really get your fingerprint. Before they really feel your breath. Before they really get your contribution. Before they really feel you. That's what you don't want to happen. You don't want to leave this place without us knowing you were here. All I'm doing is giving my dream a chance. And I'm not extraordinary. You don't get off the hook. You don't get to be let off the hook. I'm an ordinary woman who chooses every day to make one more extraordinary decision. Everything that I need to get back up, I have in me. If I don't have what I need, I can go get it. Once I figured that out, the world was my playground. The question was just, where do I go get it? I don't know about that. Where do I go get it? Right. Without the inconvenience required for transformation. So my grandmother says, and I love to repeat this, your conviction, what you're passionate about, your conviction and your convenience don't live on the same block. They ain't even in the same zip code. So if you want to have a conviction for something, you have to sign up to be inconvenienced. We're trying to find convictions and passion and breakthrough on the inside of our box. Well, when you realize that the box doesn't even exist, everything is possible. So I disrupt people when I say, you want to make me extraordinary, because it lets you know running. I'm just not going to stop, because I believe all things are available to us. I'm just willing to go after them. Are you willing? And then that is so disruptive, because then you got to make a decision, because it's easier to live inside the parameters. And so we're all waiting for perfect. It's an illusion that will never come to you, and it's an excuse to never show up and play. Your story is not meant to be your fortress. Your story is meant to be your fuel. Any story, like the fact to breathe and catch my breath, but I'm not stopping, because I believe all things are available to all of us, and good people should do well. Because when good people do well, good people just do more good in the world.
Movement in you're going to hear all kinds of things said about you. Throw it behind you. The enemies that you see today, you will see them no more. No weapon formed against you shall be able to prosper. Every tongue that riseth against you, God will condemn. This is my time. Truth of the matter is, everybody in here is going through a change. You don't have to be ashamed of yours. We are all in the process of transforming to into a higher, better expression of myself. Let this be the year that I birth a higher, better expression of myself. Don't let the habits of my past stop me from this metamorphosis. What separates us is transformation, the possibility of change, the desire to evolve, the passion to get up off the ground and stop eating dirt. I'm tired of doing what I used to do. If I always do what I've always done, I'll always be where I've always been. I'm gonna throw it behind me. Because the real battleground is in your mind. That's where the fight is. You lay down with it. You get up with it. You go to work with it. You can't digest your food because of it. Smiling in front of people and nobody knows that there's gunfire going off in your head. It's not a geographical location. It's not debt. It's not money. It's not haters. It's not enemies. It's not liars. It's not backbiters. That's not the battleground. Stop wasting your weapons on what people say, because it is not what they say about you that matters. It is what you say about you that threatens your destiny. You will never be defeated by what they say about you. You will be defeated by what you say about you.
The first thing that Jesus wants to change this year is the way you think. Some of you need to turn back to Jesus and trust him. You need to give him your mind. It's why Jesus said, this is the greatest commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. This year can change. I believe Jesus wants to do a radical miracle in your life if you let him. If you let him.
That I can do all things through Christ who is my strength.
New living comes from new thinking. That you and I go through the process of being made new by having our minds transformed by the truth. Romans chapter 12, verse 2 says, do not conform to the pattern of the world. Be transformed. How? By the renewing of your mind, that you begin to put off the old and put on the new. That you don't just try harder one day, you address the lies, because he brings up deceitful desires, these lies that fuel self-destructive behaviors, addictions, sins, toxic relationships. So you address the lies and you embrace the truth of God's word, and this is the path by which he brings about transformation. That renewing and new living comes from new thinking, or renewed thinking. Thinking that doesn't go with what people have told you or what your advice from some mentor if it's not consistent with God's word. That I begin to embrace what God says about life, dating, love, marriage, work. And I hold on to those truths and I put off the lies. And Paul's saying, man, you change your living by changing your thinking.
Your old self is worn out. It's useless. It never worked in the first place. So take it off and throw it away. Don't keep any of it. Get rid of all those ways of thinking and acting and speaking. Get rid of the habits. The thing that used to define you doesn't define you anymore. You are new in Jesus. It's a change. In order to put on the new, you first have to take off the old. Get rid of it completely. And that might mean pouring out your alcohol, throwing away your drugs, finding new friends. Get rid of all the stuff. That was the old you. The old you wasn't working, so why would you go back to wasn't working? People keep just enough of the old that they go back to it. Don't do it. Don't go dumpster diving for the things that once made you comfortable. That's not who you are.
We have to learn how to let go of the things that are behind and let God bring us into new beginnings. God has got a new beginning for every single one of you. you can begin again. You're not at a dead end. It's not over for you. You're not too old. We all need new beginnings all the time. You know, we get started and we're going good for a while. Maybe you need a new beginning in your prayer life. Maybe you need a new beginning in Bible study. Maybe you need a new beginning in regular giving.
Nothing will change this year until you change it. Leave all the baggage you had. Loose yourself, cut off all the weight, get rid of stuff that has been distracting you, and forget the past.
You have a great future. Your history is not your destiny. You have a great future, but you will miss it if you keep hanging on to the past.
God equates life with time, and your life is your time. And whatever you're doing with your time, that's your life. So anyone or anything that consumes your time is consuming your life. Some people are parasites. Do some inventory and throw some old things out of the warehouse. And it might be people. It might be habits. It might be a routine that ain't working. You're going to repossess your life. Say it loud. I will repossess my life. How? I'm going to control my time again. Put some boundaries in your life. Lay some criteria. I will not do this and do that. This is what I'm going to check for, because I ain't got time to waste time. I got a building to build. I got a life to construct. I have a vision to complete. I got something to do with my life.